Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for Channel Disturbance. This is a Rhm Borsig Waffenträger, Tier 8 German turreted tank destroyer. It's located on the south spawn of Pilsen and is under the command of Fluffylilkitten of REBRN. But he's about to get trolled and team killed by one of his teammates. Yep, one of his teammates is going to use him as extra armor. Deliberately. Okay, battle started. Now the troll is still at the cap, just pulling away now. Rhm Panther II. Now that guy is using the anonymizer. That's not his real name, but we'll learn that later. You can see that Fluffylilkitten is on his way over to the coal pits, and the enemy's come into sight. Now, Fluffy's using the 15cm gun, which is actually capable of 750 alpha, penetrating 215mm of armor with standard ammo, and with heat it will go up to 334, so it's a very powerful tank destroyer. But it does have a very long reload, just shy of 17 seconds to load. It's a long time. He's looking for a good target to shoot at. With such a long reload, you need to ensure that you make best use of your shells. You only get 30 shells in this thing. Only 30. So you can't afford to waste your ammunition at all. That was his teammate firing. Well, we can see a few running past. There's a Lynx. There's a EPR-75 FL10. Now, I think he actually fired at an AMX AC-48 up there, but unfortunately did not get a hit. Now we can see some enemies coming down the railway line bushes. There's a Panther and a Scorpion G. Oh, he get a big hit on the Scorpion G, 935. That was a massive hit, and the Scorpion was killed. Taken out the game by our ELC Evan 90. But yeah, those guys are coming down the railway line, and now we've only got one tank holding them back, and that's going to play an important part in this battle. In fact, there's 3 tanks coming down the railway line now. He fires at the Panther T-44 but misses, and the enemy have broken through, and this is when the incident happens. So what we're going to do is we're going to stay in third person here because of what actually happens next. Now the lovely skin, by the way, comes from Sir Rusty and Jazz. The German flag draped over the rear. In fact, it's not the true German flag, obviously, but we can't show that. And he's poking out, locks onto a back chat, puts a round into him, but takes a round from the back chat, pulls back into cover. Now, as I said, long reload, so he has to wait for the shell to go back in before he pokes out. And watch what the Panther II does. I'm going to take the mini-map off and see what he does. He comes up behind Fluffy and pushes him out into the line of fire in front of the enemies so the enemies can shoot at him. Tries to use him as extra armor. Tries to turn him round. Fluffy takes 2 rounds, then a third, and pulls back into cover, and a fourth. So he's virtually out of hit points now, and that's all down to this Panther II pushing him out in front of the enemy. But watch what the Panther II does next. He goes behind Fluffy deliberately and pushes him out again. Now Fluffy did get a kill on the T-54 first prototype, but the T-44 finishes Fluffy off, and then the Panther uses Fluffy's wreck as cover against the other enemies. So this guy deliberately killed Fluffy to use him as armor. Let's have a run that battle back, that moment back, so you can exactly see what happened. In fact, we didn't go back far enough, so I'll just take it back a bit further. Okay, you see Fluffy ends on the corner. He gets his shot on the back shot and pulls back and starts reloading. Then the Panther backs up, pulls forward and pushes Fluffy out in front of the enemy. That's team killing. When you do that, it's team killing. You're deliberately killing one of your teammates, and Fluffy doesn't want to be pushed out, and he's being pushed out, and he's being pushed sideways to provide cover for the Panther. And now Fluffy's almost out of health, and the Panther trying to get behind Fluffy again to push him out. But he comes over and he drives up and he gets behind Fluffy and pushes him out deliberately in front of the enemy. Deliberately. Fluffy's got no choice in this. And Fluffy was trying to say, what the hell's going on? So now Fluffy's been killed. The T-44 is dead, and the last remaining enemy is the T-34-3. All the others have been killed. And that's the end of the game. So that Panther II pushed Fluffy out to get him killed by the enemy. And that's team killing in anyone's book. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats so you can see exactly what the results were. Well, the thing is that Fluffy did get hits on 4 enemy tanks during that game and a win rate of 2920, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score and see exactly what he did. Well, if you look at the number of hit points, you can see that he actually got the highest damage in the game, Fluffylilkitten, 2,924 hit points of damage. He didn't get the highest number of kills, he only got 1. And when it came to base XP, he was third from the top with 845. The Progetto and the LT432 managed to get before him. But where is that team killer? He's right down at the bottom. He only got 411 hit points of damage. He did get 2 kills, but those tanks had already been massively damaged by Fluffylilkitten, and he picked up 565 base XP. But that's not his true identity. He's anonymized. So let's click on his name and see exactly what his true identity is. Just waiting for it to come up. And here it is. That's his real identity, RNG Lover. With just under 10,000 battles and a rating of 4454, 47.07% victories. This guy deliberately team killed Fluffylilkitten by pushing him out into the fire of the enemy and having him killed just so he could use the wreck as armor. Now that deserves a ban. In anyone's book, that deserves a ban. Wargaming, this player has done exactly what he would have done even if he'd shot him himself before the team damage had been removed from the game. I'm afraid this player is a very bad player. He will be added to our mods so people can identify him in battle before the battle starts. This is the sort of player who would quite happily push you in front of the enemy to have you killed so that he could then use your wreck as cover. So he would quite happily ruin the game of other players. And it's totally contrary to Wargaming's rules to deliberately interfere with other people in an unsportsmanlike behaviour to actually have them killed so that you can then take advantage of them. This is despicable behaviour, and this person, well, everybody should ban him from or blacklist him so that he cannot platoon with anyone, because this sort of person shouldn't be in the game at all. So that's the identity of the person. Please do report him for Wargaming for team killing, and thank you very much for watching this.